Hello everybody, I am Syed Salimuddin, lecturer, Mechanical Engineering, MTT, SJ Government Polytechnic, Bangalore. Today we will be discussing about the milling machine which is in Unit 3. So first we will go for introduction, then we will go for the types of milling machines. So what is a milling machine? First you must know. The milling machine is a machine tool that removes metal as the work is fed against a rotating multi-point cutter. Now, this multi-point cutter is made out of a metal known as HSS, that is high speed steel. Metal removal rate is high in this due to the multi-point cutters. So we have got number of cutters, single point and multi-point cutter. In milling machine we have got a multi-point cutter, so that's why here the metal removal rate is very fast. Now, milling machine has a good accuracy and a better surface finish. Because of the multiple cutting edges, it has a very good accuracy and a better surface finish. Now, milling machines can be used to drill bore, cut gears and to do planing surfaces. Now, working principles in milling machine. Now, in a milling machine, the work is rigidly clamped on the machine table or held between centers. To do any work in milling machine, we had to clamp the work firmly and rigidly in a vise or in a fixture. So then, or else it can be held in between the two centers, then we can do the milling operation. So here revolving multi-point cutter is mounted on a spindle and the work is fed slowly past the cutter. Work can be fed in different angles such as vertical, longitudinal and cross directions. The machine has the capability to perform various operations at once, whereas no machine tool can perform these operations. Now we will go for the different parts of the milling machine. Now you can see from the sketch we have got bottom, that is called as the base. The base is made up of cast iron. Next we have got the elevating screw. This elevating screw where the knee, the saddle and the table moves up and down on this elevating screw. In some cases we call this one as the screw jack also. Then we have got the knee where the direction is shown, so that moves in y axis, that is upwards and downwards. It moves towards the arbor or the cutter, or at down near the base also it can be moved. It moved in two directions, that is upwards and downward direction, we call it as the y axis also. Then we have got the saddle. The saddle also moves in a z axis. It can be moved towards the column face. Then we have got the table. This table also moves in x axis. So as is given in the sketch, we have got the knee moves in y axis, that is upwards and downwards axis. Then it can be also move towards or away from the column face. Then we have got the saddle or the z axis. It moves in the z axis as shown in the direction. So that is also it can be moved towards or away from the column. Then we have got the table which moves in the x axis. Then at the top side we have got the dull board, bearing and arbor support. So this support is there. Why means because it gives a support to the arbor. Then at the top we have got the overarm. So it is at the top exactly top to the base is the overarm. Then we have got the milling multi-point tooth cutter. Milling cutter we have got which is mounted on the arbor. The arbor is nothing but, then we have got the arbor. The arbor is nothing but it is the extension of the spindle. So you can see from this sketch that the spindle nose is there. From the spindle nose we have got the arbor, that is the extension of the spindle is known as arbor. Then we have got the column. The column is vertical to the base. So these are all the different parts of the milling machine. Then what are the different types of milling machines? We have got the first one is the column and knee type of milling machine. Then we have got the manufacturing or fixed bed type milling machine. Then we have got the special type milling machine. Then we have got planar type milling machine. Then column, the first one is the column and knee type milling machine. In this type of milling machine, the table is mounted on the knee and the casting. Then which is in turn mounted on the vertical slides of the main column. Then the knee can be vertically adjusted on the table to machine the works to work on various heights. Then we have got the different types under column and knee type milling machine. Hand milling machine. Then we have got plane milling machine. Then we have got universal milling machine, omniversal milling machine, vertical milling machine, hand milling machine. So you can see from the sketch, this is the simplest of all milling machines. Here the feeding movement of table is supplied by hand control. The cutter is mounted on horizontal arbor and rotated by power. This is very smaller in size compared to other milling machines. This is used for simple milling operation such as machining grooves, slots and keyways. Then we have got plane milling machine. In plane milling machine, this type of milling machines are more rigid than hand milling machine. This is much more heavier than hand milling machine. The process of milling flat surfaces with the axis of cutting tool parallel to the surface. In this rotating milling cutter does not give a continuous cut but moves from one end of the workpiece to another end. These are the different parts of the plane milling machine. We have got the base, we have got the elevating screw, then we have got the knee, the saddle, the workpiece, the cutter, the spindle, the arbor, overarm as well as the column. Next we will go for universal milling machine. In this milling machine, a table is fitted with all motions and a dividing head with change gear so that it can perform any type of milling operation. It is widely used for solid design, rigid construction, for vertical and horizontal machining process. This permits the table to swing up to 45 degrees in either direction for angular and helical milling operation. In this machine, we can cut gears also. Then we have got omniversal milling machine. This is modified version of plane milling machine. It is provided with two spindles of which one is horizontal as in plane milling machine and the other is carried out by universal swivel head. It is very useful for machining helical grooves, reamers and bevel gears. It is mostly used in tool room work. Then we have got vertical milling machine. This machine is adapted for machining slots and flat surfaces by moving the table. A spindle of a vertical milling machine is positioned at right angles to the table. The cutter is moved vertically or at an angle by swiveling the vertical head of the machine. Then we have got different types of manufacturing and fixed bed type milling machine. In this we have got simplex milling machine, duplex milling machine and triplex milling machine. What is this simplex milling machine? These fixed bed machines are larger and rigid. It has got a huge bed, so that's why huge work can be mounted on this one. They differ radically from column and knee type. The name simplex indicates that the machine is provided with single spindle head. Then we have got duplex milling machine. These are the types of fixed type milling machine. In this, the spindle heads are arranged on each side of the table. The main features of this machine is the automatic cycle of operation for feeding the table. Then we have got triplex. We have got three types, that is simplex, duplex and triplex. In triplex, these are also fixed bed type machines which are very large and rigid. They refer radically from column and knee type milling machine. The name triplex indicates that the machine is provided with triple spindle heads. Single means 1, duplex means 2, triplex means 3. Then what are the different types of special type milling machine? In this we have got rotary table milling machine, drum milling machine, planetary milling machine, pantograph milling machine, profiling and trestle control milling machine. Now we will come for some of the MCQs. So the first one is, during milling the cutter rotates at dash speed. The options are low, medium, high. Then second one, the first milling machine was of dash origin. The options are French, English, German. Third one, in milling machine the work is fed against a rotating dash cutter. Options are 1 point, 2 point, multi-point. Fourth one, in column and knee type milling machine the knee is vertically adjustable on the dash. Options are saddle, knee, column. Fifth one, in plain milling machine the table may be fed in dash direction 3, 2, 1. Sixth one, in universal milling machine the table can be swiveled at an angle up to dash. Options are 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees. Seventh one, the usual tools mounted on the spindle of vertical milling machine is dash mills, end and face, middle and face, last and face. Next, the dash is directly mounted on the base of fixed bed, saddle, table, knee. Next, the dash is modification of vertical milling machine. Options are rotary table, drum and profile. Last one, the dash machine produces complex shapes of dies, molds, etc. Drum milling machine, profile milling machine, trestle control milling machine. The key answers are here where you can go through this and find what are the answers. Now here are some of the reference books which we have quoted. Thank you.